Learning animation doesn't have to be expensive. There are plenty of amazing animation software that you can use completely free, be it 2D or 3D. So in this video, I'll show you the 10 best free animation software you should try. If you're completely new to animation and just want something simple to learn the basics, Stykz is a fantastic place to start. This software is built specifically for creating stick figure animations, so you don't have to worry about complicated drawing tools or advanced settings. Everything is designed to keep the animation process easy and fun. You simply move different parts of your stick figure from one frame to the next, and before you know it, you've created a smooth animation. It also includes onion skinning, which lets you see your previous frame while working, making movement much easier to control. Now, don't expect Hollywood quality features here. Stykz is intentionally simple, but if your goal is to learn animation principles like timing, spacing, and movement, it's an excellent choice. Personally, I'd recommend Stykz to complete beginners who simply want to learn how animation works before moving on to more advanced software. Now, if stick figure animation feels a little too limiting and you want to start creating actual cartoons or educational animations, then TupiTube Desk is a great next step. It was designed specifically for beginners, students, and young creators, so the interface is clean, colorful, and easy to understand. You can create both frame-by-frame animations and simple tween animations, and since it comes with built-in drawing tools, you don't need separate software to sketch your characters. Of course, it doesn't include every advanced feature that professional animators might need, but that's perfectly fine because it isn't trying to compete with high-end animation software. If you've ever watched those Stickman fight animations on YouTube, there's a good chance they were created using Pivot Animator. Just like Stykz, you don't draw every frame from scratch. Instead, you move the joints of a stick figure, making the animation process much faster and much easier to learn. One thing I really like about Pivot Animator is how lightweight it is. It runs smoothly even on older computers, so you don't need powerful hardware to get started. There's also a huge online community where people share custom stick figures, weapons, backgrounds, and effects that you can download for free. The only real limitation is that it's mainly built for stick figure animations. So if your goal is creating full cartoons with detailed characters, you'll eventually want to move to something like Pencil 2D or Opentoonz. But for action-packed stickman animations, Pivot Animator is still one of the best free options available. Now that we've covered some beginner-friendly animation software, let's move on to tools that are better suited for creating full cartoons. Now, if your dream is to create traditional hand-drawn cartoons, then Pencil 2D is one of the best free software you can start with. Unlike Stykz or Pivot Animator, where you're mainly moving stick figures, Pencil 2D lets you draw every frame yourself, giving your animations a much more natural and artistic look. The interface is clean and distraction-free, so you can focus on drawing instead of searching through endless menus. It also includes useful features like onion skinning, multiple layers, timeline controls, audio support, and both bitmap and vector drawing. It doesn't try to compete with high-end animation software packed with advanced effects, and honestly, that's part of what makes it so enjoyable to use. It focuses on the fundamentals and does them really well. Most people know Krita as one of the best free digital painting programs available, but what many people don't realize is that it also comes with some really capable animation tools. If you enjoy drawing your own characters instead of using ready-made assets, you'll probably feel right at home here. Krita lets you create traditional frame-by-frame animations using professional quality brushes, layers, onion skinning, timeline controls, and even audio playback. What really makes Krita stand out is its drawing experience. Since it's primarily a digital painting application, the brushes and artwork tools are far more advanced than what you'll find in most dedicated animation software. That's why many artists use Krita to create beautifully hand-painted backgrounds and highly detailed characters. The animation features aren't as advanced as software like Opentoonz or Synfig Studio, but that's not really its goal. Krita is all about combining great artwork with simple animation. If you're serious about creating professional-looking 2D animations, Synfig Studio is definitely worth checking out. Unlike traditional frame-by-frame animation, where you have to draw every single frame yourself, Synfig uses keyframes and automatic tweening to generate smooth motion between poses. This not only saves a lot of time, but also makes it much easier to animate complex scenes. Another feature I really like is its bone system, which allows you to rig characters and animate them more naturally. On top of that, you get advanced layers, gradients, filters, and several built-in effects that help give your animations a much more polished look. Now, I won't lie. The interface can feel a little overwhelming when you first open it, and there's definitely a learning curve. But once you get comfortable with it, you'll realize just how powerful this software really is. If you're looking for animation software that's actually capable of professional production, Opentoonz is one of the strongest free options you can download. In fact, versions of this software have even been used in professional animation studios, which gives you an idea of just how powerful it really is. It supports both vector and raster drawing, along with bone animation, automatic in-betweening, particle effects, camera movements, compositing, and advanced scene management. In other words, you get many of the tools you'd normally expect from expensive commercial animation software. Of course, all that power comes with a steeper learning curve. It definitely takes time to understand the workflow, but once everything starts to click, you'll have access to a truly professional animation pipeline without spending a single dollar. So far, we've focused mainly on creating traditional 2D animations. But what if your goal is designing animated logos, website animations, or mobile app interfaces? That's where Glaxinmate comes in. Unlike the previous software, Glaxinmate is built for vector animation. That means your graphics stay sharp and smooth even when you resize them, making it perfect for websites, mobile apps, and explainer videos. One of its biggest advantages is support for the Lottie animation format, which is widely used by developers to add lightweight animations to websites and mobile applications. So if you're interested in UI or web animation, this is definitely a tool worth learning. It may not be the right choice for creating full-length cartoons, but for vector animations and motion graphics, Glaxinmate is surprisingly capable, especially for a free and open-source program. So far, we've only talked about 2D animation. Now let's move into the world of 3D animation. If you've ever wanted to learn 3D animation but found Blender's interface a little intimidating, then Bforartists is a fantastic alternative. The interesting thing is that it's actually built on Blender's powerful engine, so you still get access to professional features like 3D modeling, sculpting, texturing, rigging, animation, and rendering. The biggest difference is that the interface has been redesigned to make everything much easier to find and understand. Instead of relying heavily on keyboard shortcuts and complex menus, many commonly used tools are available with just a few clicks, making the learning experience much less overwhelming for beginners. I'd recommend Bforartists to anyone who wants to get into 3D animation, but feels overwhelmed every time they open Blender. And finally, we have Blender, the software that many people consider the gold standard when it comes to free animation. Whether you're interested in 3D animation, visual effects, game assets, or even 2D animation using its powerful grease pencil feature, Blender can do it all. It's packed with professional tools for modeling, sculpting, texturing, rigging, animation, simulations, and rendering, all in a single application. Now, I won't pretend it's easy to learn. Blender has one of the steepest learning curves on this list, and it can feel overwhelming when you first open it. But don't let that discourage you. Once you get past the basics, you'll understand why it's trusted by hobbyists, content creators, game developers, and even professional studios around the world. Another huge advantage is its massive community. You'll find thousands of tutorials, plugins, free assets, and forums online. So whenever you get stuck, help is usually just a quick search away. If you're willing to invest the time to learn just one animation software, Blender would easily be my #1 recommendation. And that's our list of the 10 best free animation software you should try. Hopefully you found one that fits your needs. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.